Hi there, have you checked Altenew's latest Gradient Cardstock release? There's so much you can do with it. So come join me and I'll show you a few ideas on how you can use it to create memory keeping layouts. Hope to see you soon. Hi there and welcome to today's project. Today I want to show you a few fun ideas on what you can create using the new Gradient Cardstock that Altenew just released. And the new colors are Coffee Break, which is shades of brown. Then you have Red Sunset, and it has the beautiful sunset colors that matches the inks and also the washi tapes. Then you have New Purple, which is shades of purple, and then you also have Rose Petal. Again, you can match the washi tape and also the inks to it. So my idea for my first project is I want to bring a little bit of card making and strips into my layout. So I've pulled this large photo from one of the sunrises here that you can see from my balcony, and I am trying to match the colors from the new cardstock to the colors that you see in that, we call it bubble gum sky. So I am using from the Rose Petal, Rose Quartz, and Puffy Heart. From the New Purple Gradient Cardstock, I'm using Wisteria and Deep Iris. From the Red Sunset, I am using Rouge and Crimson. And from the Coffee Break, I am using Mocha for the strips and Espresso for one of my titles. So you're gonna see that once I pulled all the colors of the cardstock and I have them ready, my first move is to back them with a piece of double-sided adhesive paper. And this is Altenew. All I have to do, the paper strips or the cardstock measures 3 by 6 inches, which is the size that fits in the die cutting machine. So I'm actually just cut pieces of the double adhesive tape, peel the one side of the sticker and glued it to the back of my cardstock. So now I have it ready for me to go ahead and cut it. Now, like I said, the inspiration for this page came from those beautiful cards. Think of Laura Fedora. She loves to do like little strips of paper to create her, like have a rainbow design to create her pages. I'm gonna kind of recreate that for memory keeping, bringing the colors of the sky onto my page. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm cutting 1/8 by 6-inch strips from each one of the colors that I have chosen. I'm just using my guillotine because it's gonna give me the straightest cut and the cleanest cut, which is one of the keys to creating this design. So once I have all my strips cut and in place, the first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and glue my picture. And I'm actually, the two examples that you're gonna see in today's video are working with large photos, and I love large photos. I love black and white, but I love beautiful sunrises and sunsets. So first thing is I'm gonna go ahead and glue my picture to the right of my notebook. This is a Heidi Swapp chapters notebook, just in case you wanna know. And because I have those rounded corners, I'm gonna make sure to trim them so that I have a clean design for my notebook. My picture measures 7.5 inches by 9 inches, so it's quite large. And once I have that in place, I'm gonna actually use the colors that you see in the sky, the transition of color, to create my design using the paper strips. So I'm gonna start with the lightest purple, and then slowly move into, I'm gonna say kind of those pinkish tones to the orangey, and I'm gonna end up in the brown tone. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of lay the strips in order. I do not wanna set my strips in a horizontal way. Instead, I wanna kind of drag the eye or create the design so that your eye actually moves through also the colors and the strips of the paper. So you're gonna see how I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna create a cascade with the strips. So now that I have my bottom part of the layer or the little design that I'm creating, I know that I need to create a title. So again, I'm gonna play with the colors that I have in the sky, that I have in the cardstock, to create kind of a resting spot a title place. For this, I am using the Halftone heart die set, and I'm gonna cut 3 hearts in graduating sizes. From the first one is from Wisteria, the other one is from Crimson, and the third one I'm gonna cut from rose quartz. So I'm creating my heart. At the same time, I'm gonna use the espresso paper, and this is from the coffee break paper, to cut my kind of a sentiment, my title. And for this one, I'm using the Essential Sentiment strip die. I want the one that says "So Grateful," and I'm cutting it out of the espresso cardstock. And then once I have everything in place, I'm gonna start setting my page. Now, here's a little trick. Because this is a notebook, which means that it's gonna get bulky, it's gonna get uneven as I go ahead, the best way to have a straight area to work with and a flat area is to pin your notebook back. Keep it together with a clip so you only are working with a single page. So that makes it easier for me to add the paper strips. You're gonna see that again, I'm following the color order that I have, that the sky sets for me, but I'm adding my strips starting at the bottom of the left hand side of my page, going in a vertical motion or going up the page. And I'm, like I said, I'm following the color order that the sky has. So light purple to like the pinkish tone to the orange, finishes in red, and then move on to the brown. So once I'm just, one of the things that actually help with this is having the double-sided tape behind it, pretty much converted, sorry, that's the best word to use it, converted my strips from just paper strips onto stickers. Kind of think of it peel and stick. So it makes it really easy and really fast to put layouts together. So all I'm doing is peeling up the backing of the double adhesive paper and then just gluing it in place. I am using the horizontal or the edge of the notebook to help me create or keep the lines straight. So I'm gonna go ahead, and once I have all the colors set in place, I know that the top of the strips is where, kind of think of my title, subtitle placement is gonna sit. And here's where the little hearts that I created are gonna come into place. I'm not gonna glue them yet, but I am gonna use them to help me set up the second part of this design. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set them in place. I wanna make sure that the strip that I created with the little pieces of cardstock land exactly into the purple heart. This is the Wisteria cardstock. And then I want to have, so once I have that set, I'm going to use a ruler and a pencil to mark exactly where that is. So you're going to see that I'm going to mark the ending of the purple heart. And then I'm also gonna mark exactly where the brown, the last brown strip that I placed is coming. So you're gonna see, kind of gonna use, think of it as creating an angle. And I'm gonna use that angle to start, to help me define the next strip. Because I want, remember, like I said, I wanted to guide your eye through the page. So the best way that I can guide your eye through the design is by adding creating a continuous line of the cardstock, but instead of making it continuous, just to bring some of the interest, I'm gonna break it a little bit so that it kind of cascades throughout the page. So to do that, what I did is, remember, like I said, I created that angle, and I'm gonna glue the paper strips, the cardstock strips, sorry, my apologies on that, coming from the top of the page to exactly that line that I created. And instead of going from following the colors that I have in the sky, I'm gonna work backwards, which means instead of starting with purple, I'm gonna start with brown. So I'm going brown to purple, starting on that line that I created. I'm gonna make sure that I don't completely peel the backing of each one of the strips so that I can cut the excess and use it after. So once I have that, you're gonna see that I have like a little empty space in between. That's where my hearts are gonna sit, and they're gonna hide the edges of that strip. So if you don't have you know, you might miss little edge, might be a little bit longer, then the hearts are gonna hide that, so which is great. So again, I'm gonna go ahead, set my hearts in place, and then I'm gonna add my little sentiment right on the center of the hearts. Love how that turned out. It creates a little kind of a cascade design. It forces you to look at the title, and then it just complements the look of my page. And the idea came from that tower. You see how the tower is sticking up, but then you have the sun right in there, and then you look into the sky. Pretty much the same idea, but reverse. That's what I'm going for. And because I have the die cut at the top, you know, those hearts kind of creates my subtitle. My title, I'm gonna sit it in pretty much the diagonal position to that area. So I'm gonna put my title right at the bottom right corner of the photo, and for that I'm using the tall alpha die. I cut the words new day out of it. Again, I added some double adhesive tape to the back of some white cardstock, and then I was able to just, again, my letters became peel and stick, so I'm able to put the word new day. And then I'm gonna bring some of those hearts that I have already on my subtitle onto my page. So I use the smallest die, one of the smallest heart dies from the Halftone nesting die set, and I cut them from the same colors so that I continue the idea. And then just to finish, I'm gonna add some stamping. I am using the Fabulous Florals just to add a second sentiment that says absolutely fabulous right to the top of my picture. And then there's another sentiment from the Delicate Tiles that says good things take time, and I'm gonna add that, again, diagonal position to the other stamping, which is gonna be at the bottom of my journal page. Then all I have to do is add my journal lines, and I am done. I love how this turned out. Super simple, clean, and the focus is on my title and on my picture, which just works perfect with the new gradient cardstock. But another idea, and I think what we are I'm gonna say we all love about the gradient cardstock is creating layering flowers with them. So once again, I'm gonna use a large photo for this, but I'm gonna use the new Craft a Flower release, and this is the Sisters flower, which was released along with the gradient cardstocks. So I'm going to show you how easily you can create the florals using the gradient cardstock double adhesive tape. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the the red sunset gradient cardstock set. I'm going to use the new purple and the rose petal gradient cardstocks, all the colors, and I'm going to use the layering guide to define the colors. So you know that the lightest color is going to pick up the outline of the flower, and then I'm just going to define it by just following the layering guide and the colors of the cardstock. So you're going to see that I have added double adhesive tape to the back of each one of the cardstocks, and I'm just setting my dies in place so I can cut them. Now for the centers of the flowers, I am choosing the lightest color from the coffee break paper to create my centers. So I took it off camera, and then just once I had everything cut, you're gonna see how easily the double adhesive tape, all I have to do is peel the backing, and then I'm able to layer it together. And this flower, which is the Sisters Craft a Flower layer and die set, is super easy to layer and create the flowers, and the gradient cardstock takes the guessing game away because you already have the order. So all you have to do is just cut it, peel, and in my case peel and stick. You can use some glue, but having the double adhesive tape makes it just the projects come out together fast and super clean because you don't have to deal with the glue. Everything is just peel and stick. So you're gonna see how easily I'm able to build my florals, and I have them ready. You're gonna see that you can see at the top of my cutting mat I already have the purple ones and the pink ones. Now the only thing is, for my leaves, I went into my little stash and pulled some of my green metal. Like I said, I'm using the green metal gradient cardstock to create my leaves, and once again, very simple. I added some double adhesive tape behind it, and the leaves only take 3 pieces of cardstock, a light, a medium, and a dark tone. Very easy to layer, and then I'm ready to just assemble this together. And this actually, because the florals are large and I'm using a large photo, it balances everything together. I'm even choosing for my my design to use larger pocket cards, in this case you can call them, just so that it balances everything out. So you're gonna see, I'm just gonna show you all the florals that I have created very fast. Beautiful colors. The colors in the Gradient Cardstock are gorgeous, a must have in reality. So to create, or just to put my page together, I've actually pulled a card from my stash already pre-made, and I just went for something very simple. I wanted something that already had my lines or journal, not my lines or journal, but the lines, so that I can add my journaling on it. And I went for something that had a lot of black. So you're gonna see that it has a little remember, and there's a little frame around it, and I wanted something very simple. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a cluster on the bottom right corner of this card, and I'm using florals from the New Purple and also the Rose Petal set. I just want those stones at the bottom, and I'm just gonna use the leaves to create, think of it as a corner cluster. Simple as that. All that I have to do left over to doing this is just add my lines to journal. And then on my picture, I wanted to create something totally opposite. Again, think of it a diagonal opposite to my little journaling card. So I'm gonna add my florals to the top top left corner of my picture, just because I have a lot of negative space there too. But I'm using a floral from the Red Sunset and also from the Rose Petal. I just want to bring more of a warm tone to that area, and I thought that if I use the New Purple, it's going to be a little bit more muted. Now to create my title card, I had left over the Red Sunset and the New Purple floral. So to bring some of that kind of magenta tone, I went ahead and cut a piece of strip from that. This paper comes from the Love of Stripes set A paper. That's around a 1.5 inch paper strip, and I'm glued it to a piece of 4x6 white cardstock. To bring a little bit of that black and white that I have going in the picture and also on the journal card, I am adding a little piece of washi tape, and this is the delicate polka dots washi tape. So I'm just gonna add a strip at the bottom of the stripy paper, and then I'm gonna use the two leftover florals to create my cluster. I kind of struggled a little bit with that, with the positioning, until I decided to create kind of a diagonal opposite to the little journal card. And if you put them all together, like kind of balances, think of it as a triangle, and I created a triangle for my page using my florals, and I also balanced the colors nicely in the layer. So once I'm happy with my florals kind of set, because it took me a while, I just wasn't like, I wanted to create something that kind of balanced each other out, so it was hard to position everything in place. But once I'm happy with what it looks like, I'm just gonna go ahead and start finishing this layer. So first thing I'm gonna do is cut any excess from the left hand side of my photo. There's a little piece of the flower sticking out. I'm gonna cut that so that I'm able to slip the picture inside the pocket protector. And then I'm gonna add a title, and to add my title, I'm combining a piece of ephemera from the Living Your Dream collection with the chipboard stickers from the Enjoy the Ride collection. It just has those tones of magenta and purple that I have on this that I'm using from the Gradient Cardstock. So once I have that, I added my lines to journal, and I'm just gonna add a simple sticker to the cluster on the picture, and then a little puffy heart, and that's about it. I love how this turned out. Just having the large photo allows me to have those big florals, those bold colors, and I love how this turned out. And I hope you check out the Gradient Cardstock. It's beautiful product, excellent quality, and the colors are to die for. As always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me, and don't forget to check the blog and subscribe to the channel. Take care, guys.
Hello crafters, Jen here. For more tips, techniques, tutorials, and to discover which paper crafting products are right for you, subscribe to Altenew's YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching.